value on pricing on things? What's I know you could probably go on forever with that question, but that's an initial thought that I have.
Yeah, I mean, it's a loaded question, right? Because
Well, it's supply and demand, but what's
exactly,
your answer to it? Okay.
exactly, right? Like I'll answer it a couple different ways. One, ultimately, this is exactly the type of question that like people end up going down the rabbit hole on and spending all this time worrying about it. Like, got to make sure my brand is tight and my packaging looks good, and have a great design site and this, that, and the other. And it's like, no, none of that nonsense matters if you can't sell the work. If you can't sell the work, you're not in the game. Period. So step one, you have to sell the work. Step two, one of the we have a customer, and it's interesting, and I can pull his website up, or maybe I'll just pull his Instagram up. Maybe that's even better. He's like, kids like, God, what is he? He's like 25 or 26, and he's one of these like ocean slash surf slash drone photographers, and he's very good on his end of doing like a really good job in terms of like only branding his stuff in like super high end capacity. So he's constantly showing his stuff on like high end homes. And he got into this like really like ritzy hotel, which is like this part of Florida that he lives in. So he does really really well for his age at establishing value, and it's like, everything is highly curated and photographed and in high end homes, and so he does a good job of establishing value, I think. But ultimately, the work's got to sell, and the establishing the value part is not difficult at all. Like to do this, what he's doing, or to do it on a smaller scale, is just super super easy. You just got to you start working in on selling it. You get your customers to send you the work, especially on the other ones, and it's sort of really, the score sort of takes care of itself. Is what I would say.
Well, I was thinking on a limited edition, signed and numbered,
Mm-hmm.
and then next to an open market piece as well. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Just that, I guess something has an intrinsic and extrinsic value as well. And if you can romance it, a lot of those collectors that you're talking about, your list, that what makes the value go up? Is it the limited edition?
No,
That
there's no tricks. What ultimately makes the value go up is the demand for the work itself, right? Like, I like where your head's at in terms of it's my argument quite strongly that you need to have price point variability in your business, meaning you should be selling merch, you should be selling prints. You need to have price points like even independent of the what you're selling, you need to have price points 500, like even $200 and under. You need to have price points $1,000 and under. You need to have price points well above 1,000. And those people that are already selling at like 5 or 6 or 7,000, you should have something for 50,000. And the reason is that everyone's attention, followers, fans, whatever it is, we all end up falling into the socioeconomic bell curve, right? On one end, you have the low income folks, and then you have the lower middle class, upper middle class, high net worth individuals. It forms a bell curve. My followers are that way, yours will be that way, that's will be that way, everyone's will be that way. And so you have to have a price point for everyone along that scale. And a great way to do that is you have merchandise, you have calendars, some combination thereof. Calendars, iPhone cases, coffee cups, whatever it is. And for anyone that poo-poos merchandise, go ahead and let me know the last time you were in a museum that didn't have a gift shop. Go ahead and let me know the last time you went to a concert where they weren't selling merch. The reason is not because merch or not merch. The reason is if you don't have price points for every budget, you are leaving money and sales on the table. So artists do this fundamentally because you guys think that everyone is ready to buy wall art. Everyone that you know has their hand up and needs wall art right now. Complete BS. Nothing could be further from the truth. Some people are not going to be ready for 4 or 5 years, which is why you have to be marketing consistently. But you need to have the merch stuff, and you need to have the lower end price points. Then you need to have prints, and then you need to have limited editions, and then you have the originals. And once you do that, you give yourself the ability with one piece of creative to have that entire scale covered. Someone that wants to buy on the low end all the way to someone that wants to buy on the high end. Do that in consistent marketing. You raise your prices, it continues to sell. That's more important than value than anything else. Yeah.
good answer.
Yeah. I know I get fired up about this. It's like one of the things.
Oh,
It's one of the things that we force our customers to do right out of the gate. Um, you have
I
to.
think it's I think it's a good question too.
It is a great
I
question.
mean,
Yeah.
because of the intrinsic value and the extrinsic value. Meaning, is it just a commodity sale, or what
Hmm.
adds the value to it? Does the autograph add the value to it? Does it the fact that it's a limited edition?
Yeah, it's different.
You
It's
know,
it's
you
it's
know.
different strokes. It's different strokes for different folks at different times, for sure. Like, but people get hung up on it. It doesn't matter what when I say it's just maths, it's just maths. When you have those price points and you're marketing consistently, You have something on offer for whatever socioeconomic status that particular person is involved in, and whether they're ready for wall art at this moment in time or not. And that gives you the highest ROI, return on investment, on your marketing by having all those folks in there. That's what I'd say. It was a good question, though. I'll give you that. Good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. And thank you for going first, okay? I appreciate you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay, who else is that? And I see some of the ones in the chat, but I usually like to prioritize the hands, assuming there are any. Yep, gotcha, Karen. And you'll just need to unmute, Karen. I'll let you know when you get it.
Hi.
Yep, gotcha. Hi.
Thank you for all of that. It was very enlightening.
Awesome.
I'm not the artist, though.
Okay.
And I'm trying to sell a friend of mine's her work, which is it's beautiful. She's both an artist and a photographer. How does that work? I recognize how important it is to have the actual artist speaking and selling their own work.
Yes, very
Maybe
important.
she would do some of it, but not all of it. So have you dealt with that before?
Yeah, we deal with that all the time, actually, and it's funny because we have we don't like publicize this on the outside, but we have a full blown in-house marketing agency, right? So essentially doing the job that you're doing for this person, and it's a constant tap dancing effect for what I can have the agency do on their own without any work or input from the artist themselves, and then what we actually need out of the artist or what we need out of the photographer. Now, the danger in the entire situation is just the premise. I do not know a successful artist or photographer that is not directly involved in working in their marketing. And this goes all the way up to the very biggest of the biggest ones, okay? That's just truth. It has to be. Because what most people don't understand is the work is part of the brand, yes, but the creator is a massively important part of the brand too. And they all want to know what makes that person tick and what they're into and what their interests are, and to bond on some sort of a level. Like, you know, you and I are chatting here and your dog comes running in and I'm like, Karen, I have a dog too. Now we're both dog people. Now we're fundamentally like interacting and breaking down on that level. So it's important, but you can still do it. It's just one of the, you know, we need some videos from them occasionally. They occasionally need to run live art shows. They need pieces of them holding the work. You need to get stuff of them in the process. It doesn't need to be them posting it every single solitary time. You can still help out a ton, but they need to be involved a little bit for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my other question is cost. When do we get, how and when do we get that breakdown?
Yeah. I'll give you ranges, and then what I would do is I would, if you're serious and you're like, these people know what they're talking about, I would go and get the demo. The whole portion of this session today is like high level, what the business model is, and then it gives you guys an opportunity to figure out whether or not we know what the hell we're talking about and seem like we can help. The demo is like the 1 hour test drive through all the bells and whistles and plans and packages and and they show you everything, the front end, the back end, and everything else. But I can give you an idea of pricing in the meantime. When we started, we were just a website company. We just made a website and that was it. You know, we had a website product and like the back end, all the bells and whistles, and we realized very quickly that, oh my gosh, no artists and photographers have website problems. None of them. Meaning, if I was a genie and I just came out of the lamp and I snapped my fingers and I said, Karen, I will move you and your friend to any website platform you want overnight. Do you know what changes in the business? Absolutely nothing, because no one's coming to the damn website to begin with. So we realized we had to fix the marketing problem. So we went from your normal technology company like everyone else selling a website product with a monthly fee to the easiest way to understand what we are. We are a postgraduate university that teaches art, photography, business, and marketing. That's what we are, and all the same sort of analogies, right? Like, there's live classes, there's different teachers, there is do-it-yourself textbook material, there is support, you can go and see the teacher, there's one-on-one sessions and groups, like, which they'll show you on the demo. So we charge a one-time fee to get into the university. It's $999, and then there are a few different plans that change your monthly fee. I think it's like $49, $59, $69 a month, and you know, again, every single solitary, if 100 customers signed up, only legitimately like 10 of them have a website problem, meaning they have enough traffic and eyeballs coming to their site where instantaneously, because they moved from where they were to our software, which is significantly better at selling art, they instantaneously see this massive bump in their business. Everyone else sees the bump because it's like, oh, Here's all the things you don't have to work on. Here's all the things that you do have to work on. Let me show you how to do this step by step. Then let's all get into a Zoom session together, just like this, do Q&A on the thing. And then here's what to do on the calendar, what day and when to do it. You go and do it, and they'll show you all of this on the demo. Like we cover the entire thing. And then, you know, is easy as that whole thing sounds like on paper, it's actually not the most important thing. The most important thing is the support. And it's everything from harassment, bribery, cajoling, supporting, accountability, groups. I'm not kidding. It is the
That sounds good.
it is the hardest
what's
thing.
needed.
Yes, it is the hardest thing that I come up against. My customers, my employees, and I come up with, my marketing team, is to just get people to take action because it's hard. Like artists and photographers, time immemorial, treat their marketing like the New Year's resolution gym membership. You know, come January 1, they're eating healthy and they're going 4 days a week. Come March 1st, they have not been in 2 weeks and they're over it, right? And I'm going to move on. So that's like our biggest challenge. Like, hey, it's Patrick. Why have you not been to the gym? Get in here, you know? And I'm not kidding. Like it sounds like, you know, maybe hyperbolic or something, but that's like the biggest thing that we do. And the group helps too. Like, you know, when you're on the inside and you're in a Zoom session like this and we're teaching a workshop on Instagram Reels and everyone starts doing them. And the normal person is like, this is overwhelming and I don't understand the technology. This is not the way my brain works. And then someone that's like 85, okay, and has like, you know, a flip phone is like, I made one. And being hyperbolic, no one has a flip phone, but I made one. And then most people are like, okay, I'm out of excuses. If that person can do it, I can do it. Get me in there, right? So like, yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. How big is your team?
So we have kind of like little internal wings, but the company total, I think we're up to like 125, 130.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
We're
right.
coming up on.
Yeah, well,
we're coming up on
we'll
10
do
years.
the demo for sure. So if you
Awesome.
send us the info, we'll do it together. For
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah. Just get a time that works with her. I'm sure I have your email. I'm going to write your name down.
Yeah.
Normally someone's in here helping me with these sessions, but we're shorthanded today. So you are Karen Williams. I'm sure I have your email address. I will. I'll get you guys dialed in for a demo.
Thank you.
My pleasure, and thanks for the questions. Okay, next up is Anthony, and then we're going to get to Larry. Anthony, you're up next. And you need to hit your mic icon, Anthony, unmute. Oh, what's interesting is it shows you're unmuted, but I'm not hearing anything. So you probably have the wrong audio source chosen, Anthony. If you look at me on the screen, do you see there's this little up arrow right next to the microphone? You click that little up arrow right next to the microphone, and that'll show you your audio sources. And my guess, you probably just have the wrong one picked because you're using your headphones. Yeah, we still can't hear you. So I think it's an audio source. Keep hacking it at it, Anthony. I'm going to leave you unmuted. I'm going to go to Larry, and then I'll come back to you. I'll give you some time to get it sorted, all right? Go ahead, Larry.
Hi. You know, I'm just interested more on the social media aspect, you know, or the attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just quick anecdote. About 6 or 7 years ago, I'm with my mother-in-law at her physical therapy session doing my sketching, and she made a profound statement, which was, "Why are you creating art that no one will see?"
Yeah, smart.
So my whole thing is about attention. Now, I've done 30 years in graphic design, know all the applications, but the one thing that I don't have a good grip on is social media.
Yes.
As far as getting my name out there and trying to create followers.
Yes.
Now, will you guys, you know, have any type of training like a social media boot camp or something to help somebody who knows very little about social media, only from what he heard online and heard
all of
from
it,
print?
all of the above. We teach you how to capture emails. We teach you how to email the emails. We teach you how to do print giveaways. We teach you how to run live art shows. We teach you how to do all of that all year long. How to run sales, how to do the discounts, when to do them. That's the university piece, and we do that nonstop, and it never stops. It never can stop.
Okay, I mean, that was my main question. Then a second question is, you know, issues of copyright protection and everything, because you know, right now I have a website. Okay, of course, all the images are low res.
Yep.
But you know, what will prevent somebody from, going in and hacking and trying to, sell my art online without any type of
Larry,
protection.
you got 99 problems. Copyright protection is not one. Trust me.
Yeah.
You don't need it. It's not happening. It's hard enough to make it in this business as it is. No one's running around grabbing stuff off of websites, low res, and then reproducing it and making millions of dollars. Trust me. Not a problem. Take it off your mind. I am taking that burden, Larry, off your mind, off your chest. I'm throwing it out there because you don't need to worry about it. By which I mean not spend a second of the brain power that you have. The only thing that matters is getting that art out there and getting some eyeballs.
All right. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for now.
Awesome. And welcome back. You've been on before, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. You look familiar. Welcome back. Welcome back in. Thanks, Larry. All right, Anthony, do you think you sorted it? I saw you muted again. See.
I don't know.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, all right.
We're in Southern California. Where in Southern
California
California do you live? Which is probably an irrelevant question. I could tell you exactly. Yeah. So I went to school at the top of that hill, actually.
All right. Yeah, I see it from my house. So.
Yeah. Good times.
My question was really about the type of photography. So I do a whole bunch of different type of photography, like tribal, really kind of remote tribal people and things like that, as well as wildlife photography. How do I know kind of what the market is for those different types in order to focus on what might be best to start with, or do I just throw it all out there?
Exactly. Great question. Early on, you throw it all out there because you don't know, and no one can tell you. No one can tell you until you've done the requisite amount of marketing, you've gotten the artwork in front of enough people's eyeballs to figure out whether or not you have a niche or you don't. And, one of the most common pieces of advice that I feel like artists and photographers, they all seem to like sit down with someone that's been successful in like some other part of the business world, and they all tell them the same advice. Like, you know what you got to do? You have to figure out what your niche is. And once you figure out what your niche is, then you'll really do great. And their advice isn't necessarily ill-intentioned or wrong, but no one gives themselves the amount of time to figure out what their niche is. And what I've experienced over my last 7 years is some people will go in with an utter, total, and complete mixed bag of stuff, and they just sell a smattering of the mixed bag of stuff because people just like their creative eye. For whatever reason, the way that they do things, the way that they see the world resonates with their potential customers, and that's the way that they do things. I've seen others that go at it for the requisite amount of time, and Pareto's law emerges. So 80% of their revenue will come from 20% of their work. At that point in time, that's when you kind of have to come to Jesus and be like, I think the world's telling you what your niche is. Get that other stuff off, and let's go all in on the 20% that's providing 80% of your revenue. But you don't need to worry about that in the slightest, especially early on. You go after all of it. You start doing the marketing, and you see what happens.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. I got married in La Jolla too, actually. Now I'm nostalgic for good old San Diego. I miss it. By the way, I kept my 619 area code that I've still had since I went to school at UCSD all those years ago, which was a decent amount of time now. I don't even want to contemplate how long ago. All right, guys, who else? Questions, hands, or I can definitely go into the chat if I want to do that. So Kathy's asking, if I were to do videos to sell particular pieces, about how long should that video be and how many pieces to be effective? Kathy, I'm not sure, I think I know what you're asking, but I'm not 100% sure what you're asking, so I'm going to unmute you. Do you mean like videos that you're going to put on your website or videos that you're going to put on your social? Like, what did you have envisioned there?
Can you hear me?
I sure can.
These are videos that I'm thinking of putting like on Facebook or Instagram. And I know that people's attention spans are kind of short. So I was wondering if a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video would actually be more effective than a 30-minute video, because who's going to watch 30 minutes?
Do you know what's the most effective, Kathy? Doing the first one. And then you know what's the most effective after doing the first one? Doing 5 of them. And then you know what's the most effective after doing 5 of them? Doing 50 of them. And then you worry and stress about length. They're like sort of like, I don't really play golf anymore, but it's sort of like golf, right? Like, to play the course of life, you need a bag full of clubs for various different shots. You can be effective with the short ones. You can be effective with the long ones and the ones in between. You'll never know until you've done enough of them. So, you know, like our always motto is just ship it, get going, right? And, you know, I could I could screen share and show you a million times. Like every time my customers do their first one, they're like, Patrick, I just did my first one. It was so awesome. It was incredible. I'm like, great. Now go do 100 of them, right? Go do 100 of them, because you literally can't do enough of them. You can't, you know, it takes a while to get comfortable being on camera, and it takes a while to get comfortable understanding your equipment and understanding, you know, the intricacies of your house and your internet connection and da 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 da. So early on, don't sweat the length. Just do one this week. Like I want you to do one this week. I want you to do one today, Kathy. I want you to do one today. Here we go, guys. Just want to show you this piece. It's on acrylic. It's framed, ready to hang. Or it doesn't need to be framed. It's the perfect bathroom art that I found, because these things can sweat and can get water all over them and nothing ever happens to them. I normally sell them. Talk about your inspiration, Kathy. I normally sell them for X. I'm having a 24-hour flash sale because I'm in a good mood. So from now till the end of the day today, this would normally be $400. I'm selling it for $200. All you have to do is send me a DM here on Instagram. Boom, I'm done. That quickly. Do you know how quickly I could do that? I could do that in real time right now, and that is totally a worthwhile endeavor. One thing that I will say, because I haven't hyped it up yet, but I'm going to send this to you. Let me get this out. Let me get this up. So on this page that I send you after I get done, on here there is how to run live art shows, a quick start guide. And on the front of this thing, I talk about all the reasons why that you need to do this. It's, you know, I elaborate a little bit more, not a little bit more, but it's just a good blog post to read, because you'll be like, okay, I give you real artists, their real shows, how many pieces they sold, you know, when they ran it, what they felt like after they've done it. And then when you get to the bottom down here, there's a guide, and I made you a guide, and it says, send me the guide, please. You don't even have to put in your email. It's already all done. And in this thing, I walk you through the equipment you need, inventory and pricing, how to get paid, where to stream the show, the actual show, how to announce the show, what to do after, some bonus content to help you get started, which are, you know, I give you a couple of examples of complete live art shows. So you can watch these and do these. But other than that, you're good to go. Don't know how to go live on Facebook with a cell phone?
Guys, as I mentioned before,
we'll walk you through that step by step. Don't know how to go live on Instagram with a cell phone? All right, let's talk about how easy. We'll walk you through that step by step. So it's all on here, and I'm going to send you this.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And are you going to do one this week, Kathy? I want a hard commitment out of you. I want to know where I can tune in to see it. Are you doing one this week?
Well, I'm leaving for 3 weeks in Ecuador this week. So no, I'm not doing it this week because I have to pack and get all ready to go.
You should definitely
so
do
I'll
one
do it after I get back.
You should definitely do one in Ecuador, though. That would be totally cool.
I just might do that.
That is I mean, don't even do it live, but just record it on your cell phone if you can. Well, I know you're not going to have the art with you, unless you are. I don't know, but that sounds awesome. Sounds like a great trip.
Thanks.
Enjoy. Thanks, Kathy. Okay. So this is an interesting one. I'm gonna unmute James, because I got to get some detail on this. And then Pamela, I see your thing about hashtags. You've got a couple of them on there. I'll unmute you next. James, what are you drawing that you feel like is copyrighted, or are you photographing it, or what does that look like?
It's
Don't
I've
worry.
done
Just come out with it. All good.
like wooden toys with characters of Disney, things of that nature.
Yeah. So 2 ways to approach it. You likely getting permission, very low, very hard, very long road. You can do it's easier to beg forgiveness than ask permission route, meaning you just go for it and you just start selling it. And you know when you start getting cease and desist things to stop selling it, right? You could do that route if you're so inclined. Interestingly enough, though, I have a customer. Okay, awesome. And talk about having two completely different niches, by the way. He normally would take photographs of bridges and industrial stuff in his St. Paul, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and surrounding states. He loves Disney so much, he goes into a certain theme park that has something to do with the mouse and now takes photos inside the park, and he's selling those things like crazy. And there's actually a group, a group of them that do it, and they have the unofficial blessing from Disney to keep doing it because they like it. They think it's good marketing. My guess is that you're not going to get that for figurines because they'll probably come after you. But you could, you could give it a shot in the short term and see what happens. The worst that would happen is they'd send you a cease and desist and say stop immediately. in my experience. And until you start making a bunch of money, they're probably not going to find you. But again, I'm not a lawyer, so take it with a grain of salt.
Everyone I talk to that's done any art for them, they basically says, if you do get the permission and blessings from Disney, they come in and want money up front.
Oh, of course, yeah.
How many units you're going to sell per year?
Uh-huh.
Like if they think you're going to sell 1,000 units, I'm not going to sell anywhere near that kind. I
No.
don't even want to. I don't have the capacity.
Yep.
But they said that they'll never give me something if I'm not selling major amounts of pieces.
Yep.
But at the same time, I can't do it.
Yep.
I don't.
You have to see whether or not you're comfortable doing the easier to beg forgiveness and ask permission and go for it, or start making something else.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. There's like so many different versions of that argument, like people that shoot rock stars, right, and then want to sell the photos of the rock stars. Like, what's the legality there? Like, we're not here to be legal people. And by the way, as a business officially, we don't have like a strong, opinion on it one way or the other. If we get a takedown request, we take it down. So that's what I would say. All right, Pamela. Oh, Pamela doesn't have any audio. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing on YouTube, Pamela. YouTube is not a very effective platform for most artists to do marketing on. I would stick to Instagram. Instagram is pretty much the best place to be right now. Period. Full stop. At least in terms of, when you think about it, what is Instagram at the end of the day? It's a giant visual search engine, right? It's a giant visual search engine, and so yes, 100%, it is the place to be. That just reminds me, I got to tell this guy happy 40th. Reminder. So I would spend the time on Instagram. I would not spend the time on YouTube. And yes, you can use 40th. Sorry, I didn't know it was his birthday. You should use hashtags. Hashtags are easy. Just Google how to include hashtags. Use a couple in each post. They're not going to utterly, totally, and completely change the game, but they are helpful to use. That's for sure. All right, Kathy, I asked. Karen already dealt with. Anthony, you didn't raise your hand again, did you? Oh, you did? Okay. I'm going to unmute you again. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Yeah. So I wanted to go back to the short video that selling your art.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a methodology where you do that, can show the art electronically, or do I need to print pictures ahead of time?
Oh, God, I love this question. You have no idea the level of passion that I have for this question. And here's the way that I answer it, okay? I make knives for a living, okay? I make really, really good ones. And Anthony, you want to work for me selling those knives door to door. When you knock on the door, what are you going to have in your hands?
Yeah, knives.
Yeah, because it would be pretty damn difficult to try to sell knives out of a catalog, wouldn't it? You'd have to be pretty insanely good. So this is another one of the fundamental screw-ups that both artists and photographers make is you don't sell JPEGs. I can't put a JPEG on my wall, okay? We are awash all day long with JPEG after JPEG after JPEG. They're the nature of social media. That's not what you sell. You sell something that's real, right? That can go on a wall, that has dimensions. It can be coveted after, and I need to see you holding it. The good news is, especially for video, and let me just get this whole stack. You don't have to have the big, gigantic thing, okay? You can have the tiny little things and say, this is what a paper print looks like. This is what an acrylic print looks like. That's acrylic too. This is what a wood print looks like, right? And you can zoom in to show it close on your calendar. Here's what a canvas print looks like. That whole stack cost me like $80, $90, right? So get your best sellers, get them in the various different media types, and be ready to show them. But do not think that normal buyers of art have your guys' power of visualization, and they're going to look at a JPEG, and that's going to get them excited enough. They're going to look at a digital image to visualize it themselves on their wall. It doesn't work that way. You have to get prints. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Okay, and so it kind of goes back a little bit to my first question before is, you know, I don't know which art is going to sell.
Yeah, chicken and the egg. Like,
sell. So I have to do some of that wildlife, some of tribal things and those kind of things, a little bit of each, right? And then start to
Exactly.
advertise.
Just go through, grab your significant other, grab a friend or whoever, and show your folders of these are the ones that are my favorites. What do you think? Pick, get some prints made, and keep going. Right? That's the best you can do. You kind of just have to think it until you make it early on. Awesome. Thanks, anything. All right. Yep, William has a website that's not making any revenues for the last 3 years. Also, I advertise on Facebook. William, are you boosting posts? I need to save you from yourself right now, William. Tell me you are not boosting posts. And you'll have to unmute, William, if you want to answer on that.
Have.
Are you boosting
Yes.
posts?
Yes.
Stop it.
Thank you.
Stop it. Go ahead and take that money. Wait till winter. Take that money, go in your backyard, and start a little fire with it, and then you'll at least get something out of it, okay? Thou shall not boost posts. Does not work, and I can go into all the reasons why, but you already know that because you're not getting the results. So, and yes, of course, your expenses can be used for a tax write-off. You're just not doing regular and consistent marketing. You should get a demo, William. We can help you.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Friends do not let friends boost posts. And I really got to watch that because I'm streaming on their platform right now. They could come after me. Okay. I see you got your hand up. Ger de la Tea. I hope that's what it is. It's a good name, though. It's a good artist name there. I like that one. Hold on. Pablo's got a question first. Let me grab Pablo, and then I'll grab you. Pablo, are you there? Another great artist name. Pablo Contraciani. So he's saying, Pablo, and you can unmute if you want. He already has a website. It's not e-commerce, and people can't buy my art in it. It does have all the features you have, but I like it. Could I keep mine and add the one that you have? Yeah, you could potentially if you wanted to, Pablo. But you're missing out on all the features and bells and whistles that we have because you haven't seen all the features and bells and whistles we have, and we have way more than you think, and they make a difference. They make a big difference. But you could potentially, if you want. What I would do is if you're like, I made this website and I love it and I'm just not getting rid of it. I don't care. You could leave that one up and then you could do store.Pablo Contraciani, right? And do it that way. And then, after ours destroys yours, you could be like, okay, fine. I'm just going to move it over, right? But we have just all sorts of features that yours currently doesn't, even if it has the visual features.
But if it's working as a link, I can add yours as a link in mine.
Yeah, you
right?
could. Yeah, you could. What I'm saying is you would do a subdomain, and just to keep it really simple, like let's just say Pablo, if you own the website pablo.com, you can do store.pablo.com and point the art storefronts one at that, or there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do it, right? Like where this most often comes up is, and I'll just show you for visual reference, is when I get like a commercial photographer that has like a big commercial photography business and they don't want to get rid of that, right? Did I spell his name wrong? Tim, wait a minute, let's see what comes up this way. So it's my buddy Tim, and he's got like a big commercial photography operation going on, right? And so there was no way he was going to get rid of this because he's got projects and portfolios and motion and all of this stuff, right? So he just does store, and he links to his art storefront site that way. So you could potentially do it that way, or you could put it on a subdomain or anything in between. But that's what I would say.
Okay, and can you? I had a demo. I have a call with somebody from your company, and should I do it with you? All this, this technical thing, or the domain, or I do it when it's ready. I contact you again.
Well, the most important thing that you do is not website related.
Yes.
The most important thing that you do is immediately get going on your marketing, right? Like,
Yes.
how much art have you sold year to date?
Today?
Year to date.
No, today. I sell some pieces. I am a professional artist. I live selling my art, but I would like to sell much more.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to have new customers.
Yes.
I would like to expand my market.
Yes.
That's why I am interested in the product you offer, guys.
I would say here's how I'd answer it. If you're ready to start working on your marketing, yes, you should sign up immediately. We will help you. If you're like, I'm not ready to do that yet, you have to make the commitment to do the work, right? And if you have the commitment to do the work, we will teach you, and you will start getting better instantaneously the minute that you're ready to go, like right away. So yes, you should.
Thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Pablo. And Pablo, are you located in Italy or are you in the United States? I muted you, but I'm just curious. I'm going to unmute you again. Hold on. You have to, yeah, go ahead.
I am originally from Argentina.
Oh, from Argentina. Wow.
My parents are from Italy, both, and then I have double nationality.
Nice.
But I live in Miami.
Oh, you live in Miami. Okay, yeah. So
yes.
you're good to go.
Okay.
And then you can just then you can just do a version of the website in Italian and then a version in Spanish, and then you've got all three covered, which I like. Triple threat. But we can get into that later. Thanks, Pablo. Okay, Gary, you're up next. And let me know if I hacked the pronunciation on that.
Jared hair is fine.
Hair, okay.
So my question is very similar to Pablo's. I do have my own website. I built it from scratch, my own. It took me about 2 years. Is the time I've been trying to sell my art. I mean, I've sold a few pieces, not a lot, a few prints, but not enough. And my question, I do have the e-commerce in my website. But my question is, if I go with you guys, how would I build it in? You kind of mentioned something about going like the store in my website, or if I have to ditch it completely.
I would just ditch it completely. That's what I would do, and that's the same thing I would, the advice that I would give to Pablo, because, you're gonna make the mental commitment with us because of what we cost, because it's not $2 a month, right? You're gonna pay that money, and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm all in, right? I'm all in. I'm doing this. And you don't want to be monkeying around with another website that's not integrated, that's not there. I mean, normally what I tell people is, if the business is not mapping to your expectations, you do not need what you had before. It's not working. Okay? So move on, right? The good news is that ours destroys all of the competition and whatever you have and then some, because we've been doing this for a long time now. We know how art is sold online, and it will make your life significantly easier. Again, though, it's not the biggest problem you have. Whether it's you or Pablo, you guys both got to learn how to market. We have to teach you how to do it. You have to start doing it consistently, and once you do, the business will take off and start going. There's nothing else that matters. And more importantly than anything else, what our website technology does, it's so different than everyone else's, is we have so many various different bells and whistles built in there, some that you can see on the surface and some that you can't, that it's a game changer. I mean, we have this feature called artbuyer.ai, okay? And it's basically a line of code that lives on your website. And the easiest way to think about it is, if you walked into an Apple store and that Apple store represents your website, right? This code is like a video camera in the top of the Apple store, right? And I walk into your Apple store and I pick up an iPhone and I look at it and then I put it down. And then I pick up an iPad and I look at that and I put it down. And then I start playing with the MacBook Air and then I put that down. I buy the iPhone and I leave. Our system instantaneously notifies you and says, Garrett, Patrick just walked into your store. He bought the iPhone. He picked up an iPad and he picked up a MacBook Air. Here's the message that we think you should send him. Boom, it pops up on your screen. And the text is already populated for you. And you can click send or you can customize it. And it would be something along the lines of, hey, Patrick, thank you so much for purchasing the iPhone. I can't wait to ship it to you. Just to let you know, I offer a first-time purchase discount, and I noticed you were looking at the iPad, and you were also looking at the MacBook Air. So if you wanted to include those in your order, I can give you a special deal. Let me know. Boom, you hit send, right? Like, that's one of a million features, like these little things that all make a difference and stack up one together and help things out. So if the old site is not mapping to your expectations, or if the old site for some reason doesn't have like a ton of organic traffic coming in because you built it 15 years ago and it ranks really high in Google, you just get rid of it and you get going on the marketing, and you don't have to worry about monkeying around with the site anymore, because, as you know, it's not a good use of your time. It is not moving the needle on the business in the slightest, right? So, got to move on. It's hard. It's easy for me to say, though. And for you, you're like, do you know how long I've been working on this damn thing? I got this thing all the way that I want it. I love it. I understand it. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and so now this is probably something like a little detail, but so the domain, how would that work? I just transfer it to
No. With us, the artist owns everything. So all you do is you log into GoDaddy or whoever you have it, and instead of pointing it at your current website, you point it at the art storefronts one. That's it. Done.
Okay.
Yeah, it's easy.
Doesn't sound that complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the SEO? You guys take care of that, or
we have software. We have software that pretty much automatically does it for you. The only things that you actually have to fill out are homepage, about me page, commissions page, and that's it. But the dirty little secret about SEO is no artists or photographers are making any money on SEO. Period. Okay. If there's 1,000 photographers out there or 1,000 artists out there that are making over, let's say, $10,000 a year on their art, one maybe out of that 1,000 is making it as a result of SEO, because that's not how people buy art. They don't instantaneously go into a search engine and say, I'm looking for landscape photography, find something and buy something right then and there, right? That's not how it works. Everyone is being sold a bill of goods if that's how it works. And I've seen almost none. No one can even tell me that, like, oh, I've got so much organic traffic, people are buying. No, waste of time. You don't even need to worry about the SEO in the slightest. All you have to worry about is what does work, which is the social media marketing, having sales, capturing emails. So you do not need to spend even 2 seconds stressing about SEO. Your SEO will be done in one day, because all you have to do is write a description, okay, and write a title for your 3 most important pages: home, about the artist, commissions page, and you're done. That's it. Our software takes care of the rest.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Trust me, I learned that lesson the hard way. SEO worked for like a very small hot minute in time, but it doesn't work for art. Like, the Instagram is the most important thing for artists, period. Okay. And if you're going to be an active artist or an active photographer, kind of like when we find out about a product and we go and we look on Amazon and we read the reviews on Amazon, like, is this a worthwhile product or not? Like, is this a worthwhile book I want to read, or whatever it is? Art buyers, they get sucked into your ecosystem, however they do, and they instantaneously come in, they pull up Instagram, they look at your profile, and they're like, what is this person doing? Do they look legit? How many followers do they have? Do they have stories posted? Or, there's a minimum credibility barrier, and this is about 1,000 times more important than SEO. And, on the video that I showed you earlier, like the two biggest like surveys of the top end of the market are, one, that report from UBS and Art Basel that I showed you, and the other one is from this company out of London. And yes, they only track art that's over like $50,000, $100,000 per piece. But anyway, every single solitary year I've watched, they survey all the buyers and they say, how important was Instagram in your buying decision? And every year the percentages have just gone up, 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 up. So SEO, do not waste any time. Marketing on Instagram and email marketing, very important. So that's what I would say. It's funny. Somebody put in, oh, you got to follow up. Yep, I got you. Hold on, I got to find you again. And where are you from originally with that name? I always love asking these questions.
Did you just ask me that?
Uh-huh. Yeah, where are you from originally?
Mexico City.
Mexico. You're Chilango.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm located in Wisconsin, though. Appleton, Wisconsin.
Nice. Do you know that I go to Mexico City on a regular basis because I love it that much?
It's beautiful.
I was just there. I was just there a month ago to watch the United States men's national team do El Tri at Estadio Azteca.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard it was big time.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. It was so fun. And to be honest with you, the food in that city is just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the number one thing I miss, the food.
Oh, so good. The place is amazing. Yeah, I'm super pro Mexico City. Anyway, what was your follow-up question?
So I think you kind of touched up on this one before, but so I recently joined a couple of the marketplaces, Saatchi and Fine Art and Drained from, I think it's the UK.
Yeah.
And I sold a couple of prints in Saatchi. The other two haven't done anything for me. But so since I sold a couple there, I wouldn't want to just quit from that one. So is that something that I can leave there, incorporate it, or would you suggest just completely also ditch it?
So what ends up happening usually is because those legacy sites, Saatchi, Fine Art America especially. So Fine Art America is the perfect example of someone that got to the SEO party really, really, really early, right? And they got there so early that they're just dominant in that space, right? And so if I search your name, G-E-R, is it La Teja? Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Do you see how they own the result? So they own the first result for you. And so if I Google your name, What comes up first? Saatchi comes up first instead of your own website. That's not good. Oh, you're not seeing this. You're not seeing this. So after I Googled your name, look, Saatchi comes up first and your name comes up second. That's not good, right? And my guess is if you were on Fine Art America for any period of time, Fine Art America would come up next. And I'm surprised. Usually Fine Art America ranks even higher than Saatchi. So look, I said in the video earlier, and I stand by it. I have never met a revenue source that I don't like, right? But you sold 2 prints. You don't have any idea who those people are. It's just not worth it. Like, the marketplaces just don't work out. They don't work out for anybody, almost anybody ever at all. Like, there's some people that are like just really lucky and they're high up in the search results or whatever, it works for them. But, we're talking about like such terribly low numbers. It's like winning the lotto, right? Like, you're not going to play the lotto. No one wins the damn lotto. So stop doing it. Right. Yeah. So that's what I would say. If you said it was giving you like 10 grand a year, I'd be like, yeah, maybe we keep that thing running. Right. Let's keep that thing cooking. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I was about to cancel the other 2, the Drained and Fine Art, because those haven't done anything for me.
No.
But the other one relatively sold like after like a couple of weeks that I was there. I sold my first print.
Yeah.
And then I sold another one like a couple of weeks later.
Yeah.
But ever since then, I haven't sold anything there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice little extra money here or there, but you're not going to be able to feed your family on it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I love Mexico City. God, I miss that place. I just got to go back again and again. The Polanco and the Condesa. And I love that Roma too. I love that Roma. I mean, it's like you're in Europe for like a very, very short flight. And I can see Pablo's like laughing up there. He's like, "Wait till you come to Argentina." I haven't been to Argentina yet, but I just like the you go down to Mexico City and you have like a 4-hour lunch and you're outside the whole time, and that's just good living. It's just good living, and you're in the forest pretty much, which is just amazing. And I like that Lomas de Chapultepec too. Just a lot of stuff. I go on and on about that. But anyway, enough about Mexico City. What else? Questions? Yes, William. William, you have to sign up for. Or Larry was asking. Everyone has to sign up for MailChimp. It's just you need an email service provider. You have to do it, but it will end up helping your business out considerably, and it pays, and it's inexpensive. It's free at first, so you don't have to worry about it. What else? I'm trying to think what else I need to rant about. I feel like this was a good session today, and a bunch of you guys stayed on to the very end, which tells me you're at least mildly interested in everyone else's questions, which makes me happy. Yeah, I got to fix the marketing problem, guys. You have to stop being busy, because whatever the hell you're working on, you wouldn't be here if it was working. So stop doing that. You don't have to sign up with Art Storefronts. You really don't. But you need to fix the marketing problem, okay? It is the giant hole in everyone's boat, and everyone is running around fixing the tiny little pinholes, and nothing changes. The boat is sinking. Fix the marketing problem. The business starts growing. So that's what we're here to help you do. If we're not the solution for you, you should at least subscribe to us on YouTube. You should at least listen to the podcast. It's called the Art Marketing Podcast. We put out a ton of like insane content there that can get you going and get you running and everything else. So that's what I would say. And yes, William, we teach you posting. We teach you everything. I mean, like I said, we're a postgraduate university in art and business photography marketing. That's what we teach. And boy, is it needed, because there wasn't any of those things in art school, was there? No one ever taught you how to actually monetize or make a damn business out of your talents. And they should have. It's infuriating to me that it doesn't. You learn about all the masters and all the incredible things and all the nonsense, and you need to be in a museum. To make it, you need to be in a gallery. Biggest bunch of bullshit ever. Doesn't help you in the slightest, especially in today's day and age. I don't even want to depress you anymore, but I've got this book. Like the fine art market, photography or art, is so opaque at the top. None of the galleries ever tell the truth about anything. They obfuscate absolutely everything. They don't ever talk about how much anyone's selling or how much prices or how much the pieces go for the most part, because they don't want anyone to know how low a success rate it is. And don't get me wrong, a Basquiat piece just sold for like $185 million or whatever it was that I saw in that thing. So there's such a small number that really, really do well. And I've got this book on Amazon. It's another one that I cite all the time that I love, and it's like 10 years old now, and hold on, I'm pulling it up so I can show it to you. It's a great book, though. It's a great, great book. It's called, I believe, the $12 million. It's a $12 million stuff shark. Yeah, here. All right, so I got it. So this one, okay, the $12 million stuffed shirt, The Curious Economics of Contemporary Art. Great book, awesome read. You guys should buy this. Totally recommending it. And again, it's like 10 years old or even 12 years old now. And they do this survey, and it's like the survey in the book is like there's 40,000 artists in residence in New York City, and there's 40,000 artists in residence in London. Out of the 80,000, less than 0.5%, less than 0.1% are the superstar artists out of that bunch, making over $1 million a year with gallery representation. The next tier down, which is still barely a percent, are the ones that are making over 6 figures a year, all the way up to $1 million a year with gallery representation. Okay, under that is the part-time / has a day job artist / has some gallery representation / has a supportive spouse, and all total, it was 6.58% of the entire 80,000 people that are surveyed that were like really seriously making something approaching a living. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. You got to just understand the path to success is doing the marketing yourself. Yes, none of you want to do it. Yes, it's going to be a pain in the ass to learn, especially early on. But you know what? You get through that little first part. You learn how to capture emails. You learn how to email the emails. You learn how to run a sale, how to think about discount plus scarcity. What percentage off? How long to run the sale? What to do before, during, after? What are the right times to run the sale? How to run live art shows? How to omni-channel market, where your email message matches with your social message, matches with your Facebook message, and how many times you do that during a sale. You start learning this stuff, you get better, and the business starts growing. So you have a couple years of pain, but you do it, and then you're off to the races. You know the basic mechanics, and it's just putting in that work. And year after year after year, the business starts growing. Imagine that. Instead of just staying flat or hoping you're going to get into a gallery or hoping you're going to make it on a marketplace or anywhere else. So that is my story. I'm sticking to it. For those that like want more information, you should definitely just go to the website and get a demo. If you're in a place, this is the first time you ever heard of us, don't worry about it. We're not going anywhere. But for everyone else, you should contemplate going and seeing a demo, because then you get to see all the bells, all the whistles. Everything that we do is a business. And, if it's something that works for you, fantastic. And we're having a big sale for Father's Day right now. So it's a good thing. Yeah. Smadar is like, gets upset when I say artist and photographer. There's no winning on that one, Smadar. There's literally no winning, because some people, say like, I'm an artist, and then other people say I'm a photographer, and then some people say, well, photographers are artists as well. You either use one keyword or you use the other keyword, or you don't, and there's no winning any which way you slice it. So I don't care if whatever side of the aisle you're on, doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. You're a fine artist, not a fine artist, something in between, all good. All right. Quickly, read on social is asking me, how are you different when Fazo teaches? Fazo barely teaches you anything. Give me a break. No, I shouldn't say that. But those guys copy like a massive amount of what we do. In fact, if I audited everything they did, I bet I would find my own word for word copy. They're just not serious in terms of what they're teaching and how they're teaching and how they go about it. And they haven't been at it as long as for us. So it's quite a bit different from those guys, is what I would say. But all right. I threw the demo request link in the chat. If any of you guys want to do it, I'll wait till this whole video does its little thing, and I will send it to you guys via email. I'll reach out to everyone that I said I would reach out to. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I forgot. I think that covers it, unless there's any final questions. But thanks for hanging on the session with me today. Enjoyed it. Some good questions, and hope to see you guys either on the inside or on a future demo. Or Gare on the streets of Mexico City. Got to get back down there. He's like, trust me, in winter in Wisconsin, I want to get out of there and get home. It's cold. Yeah, it's cold. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all. Hope to see you again.